time for another review. I'm a little excited about this one. I'm excited about everything when I get new tools. But this little guy is so tiny. This is the Bestarc Mig 145. Everybody knows I'm a Miller gal through and through, just because that's what I've always had, it's what I've always used. But this company asked me to do an unboxing in return for a little machine. And I said yes, of course, because who doesn't love free tools? Again, never use this. Not sponsored by them. This isn't a paid thing. This is just something that I really enjoy doing, is unboxing new tools and sharing it with everybody. So let's open this up. So I haven't done a ton of reviews or like looking up this company, but what I do know is that these little machines can, you can get them on Amazon, and they're like $215. So for people who want to get into welding, to do it as a hobby, to maybe not run a full business with it, I thought this was such a great option. And it is adorable. I do love this color. It is the same color as my hat, just about. Okay, so we got a box of goodies. Let's open them up. Get rid of that guy. Okay, what do we got in here? We have the little machine. So cute, you guys. It's pretty small, the whip, I mean, but it has like a nice rubber coating on it. No, I'm not gonna cut myself. The whip is pretty short, but being able to pack this thing around, whoops, daisy, just a regular 110 plug. Look how cute and light this is, you guys. How awesome is that? I do like when they put the little hooks on there, so you can hook it on your table as such. Let's see what else I got. You get with it a hose for your gas. Nice long hose for gas. Oh, this is nice when you have the opportunity to plug it into 110 or 220. My plasma cutter has the same thing. When you want to just get a little bit more power, to do a little bit more with it. Handy dandy little strap. I know they're handy, but I actually never ever use them. I mean, I guess if you wanted to put the strap on here and be able to put it on your shoulder, I'm too lazy for that. So, oh, nice. You get your ground clamp. Which always is just ready to go. Get that in there. And then it also comes with a stinger, which is great, so if you want to do any stick welding. I'm not going to hook it up with wire right now. I'm going to hook it up just because I don't want to set it up with gas. Let's see how this opens up. I don't have the little tiny rolls to set this up with wire. And then to set it up with my gas, I'm just not going to do that right now. So we're going to set it up for stick welding. And this is nice. Little instruction manual on how to set everything up. You can use your flux core wire where you don't need gas, or you can use this hose to set it up with your MIG gas. Oh, we'll fancy that. I'm going to set it up with wire because it comes with 2 rolls of wire. That is handy dandy. So, I mean, you guys, for like they're on sale right now for $215 on Amazon, I just found. That's a pretty great deal. So now we can set it up, and we don't need to hook up our gas. So this just says E71T GS, so self-shielded flux core wire. So that just means you don't need to have a gas with it. Let's see what else we got. We got some different drive rolls for the different size wires, some different tips for the different size wires. Let's get this little machine set up with this flux core wire. It is nice that it has the option for all of the other things at such a great, great price, but right now I'm going to use this flux core wire. So it has a nice handy chart in here which tells you exactly the polarity that you need. It tells you which drive rolls you need. It tells you what gas you should be using. So the chart on here is awesome, and it even says kind of the voltage that you need to have it set at for the different thicknesses of material, which is great. So get this in here. So when you're taking your wire out, always make sure you hold onto it so it doesn't spool out all over the place, like that. So this one's pretty spring-loaded. Get that in there. So I'm just going to plug it into 110 for now, just to see how that goes. Pull this off. See if you can make sure you guys can see that. It's a fancy digital screen. So I'll set it to Mig. Gasless. I believe this is 035 wire. Oh, okay. Awesome. And then, just like it says on here, when you're using solid wire, you would be having electrode positive, and when you're using flux core wire, you're going to be using electrode negative. So that just means where you're going to be placing your ground. So this one's going to be electrode negative, which means the ground will be positive. Okay. Push some buttons and see what happens. Crank it, crank it, crank it. I don't often use a self-shielding wire. I like my regular solid wire. I find it just causes, it's just clean. You don't have to worry about any slag and cleaning anything up. Oh, it's got the trigger hold. So when you pull the trigger, the wire keeps coming out. So when I push that, the wire's going to keep coming out, so you don't actually have to hold the trigger down while you're welding. There we go. See the wire. Oh, that's not the right tip. So I'll switch out the tip to the 035. So they do make it really, really straightforward for putting everything together. Everything's so nice and light and handy. Let's get some steel. See what we can weld with this. So I just have some 14 gauge steel that I'm just going to give it a go. I'm not going to clean it up. Let's just see what happens. Get my helmet. And my gloves. These aren't welding gloves. I don't recommend using these gloves when you're welding, but I'm just going to use them for right now because they're comfy and they're right here. Okay. What's happening here? Off to the instructions we go, I suppose. Shouldn't be this hard. silly me. This little guy has to go into here. I thought that was just for hooking up the stinger, but it is not. That will power. So your electrode positive and electrode negative, so that's your electrode, and that will go into the positive, and your ground is in the Z. I should have known better. That's okay. We all make mistakes. Now, let's try to weld. Well, that burned right through that because I'm thicker. Okay, so this is just 14 gauge stuff, and it plowed right through it. I'll need to turn it down. It actually burnt a hole right directly through it. So this is the 1/4 inch stuff. Let's see how this goes. Well, that's pretty nice. So, I mean, this is set quite hot, I think. But there's your bead from the flux core wire. Get my little wire brush. Okay, now that we've figured out all the settings and all of the stuff, I'm actually really quite impressed. That's the first weld with flux core wire, so no gas, just a quick cleanup with a wire brush, and it actually makes a really nice weld. Okay, let's fiddle with this voltage and see what it says. So if we're doing, so that's 16 and a half and 50. So as you change your wire speed, it actually matches the voltage to it, which sometimes is nice, but sometimes I like to adjust things a little bit, but I think for this kind of stuff it would be just fine. Let's try this again. I mean, that's a little bit better, but I think for doing body work and for doing light gauge stuff, that would be really good. But I'm actually really wildly impressed as to how well it works just on 110. Because even with my plasma cutter, when I'm on 110, it can only cut up to 1/8, you know, just maybe 3/16 if I'm lucky. But as soon as I set it up to the 220 power, then it will cut a lot thicker and is way better. So I'm going to do another weld on the other side of this 1/4 inch and see what happens. Okay, so we know that it will blow the fuse doing some harder stuff, which is a-okay, because I don't think that it would do that if I was just doing the light gauge stuff. Really, you guys, what a cute little welder this is. I'm going to play around with it a little bit more, maybe take it into my other bay where I have my truck, and you know, once I get it dialed in for some of the lighter gauge stuff and I get it set up with a solid wire and a little bottle of gas, I think that'd be handy. But to take this onto a job site or to take this to my house and to be able to do things in my backyard, I think would be really handy. And for $200, you guys, I mean, you can't go wrong with getting a little machine for $200. Plus, it's a nice color. So for all you girls out there wanting to get started, I think that this is actually a pretty good little machine. For my business-wise, I will keep it to my bigger machines, to my miller machines, but really, I can't complain about this. All the setup, so it has all the things. It even has a setup for TIG, which I do believe you just have to order in the torch for that. But there it is, you guys. Bestarc 145. check it out on Amazon. Maybe you can start yourself some welding. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. I appreciate you following along, checking out the videos. I'm really loving doing all these little tool reviews, checking them out, trying them out at any level of any tool, you know, whether it applies to my business or my life or whatever it is. I just really enjoy it, and I enjoy sharing it with you guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all of the things like I always say. Hope everybody has a great day.